Ladies and gents, welcome back to another episode of Beer Brothers Wild Arms Special Edition, Classic Edition, available now at the stores.
And on Kindle.
Oh my god, Kindle?
Yeah.
That's still a thing.
I don't have a Kindle, actually.
I feel like no one does except for parents.
I have a Kindle on my iPad.
Yeah, like why?
Yeah.
Anyways, that's beside the point. I'm Jirard. This is
I'm Alex.
Alex.
And this is Tech Talk.
This is what?
Just
Okay.
kidding, it's Super Beer Bros. Welcome back to Wild Arms episode 8, where we finally get to go outside of this town.
Last time, everyone died, and then they gave us the title screen. So now we're starting the adventure. So we're gonna hit the pastor and be like, "Yo, what up?"
What up, Pastor?
Or minister, whatever they're called.
Counselor.
I feel like the most important thing right now is not talking to this pastor, but opening all these chests.
There's a large amount of chests.
This is it right here. This is great. It's a great. Oh, bullet clip.
Look at that.
Revived fruit, mystic apple, misagina.
Just a bunch of money.
Power apple, magic carrot. And this guy says his Minister J-Chan, Johan. Okay, I
Minister
for those of you guys
J-Chan.
at home, there is something that was covering my TV. It said I thought it was Mr. J-Chan. I apologize.
Minister Jackie Chan. Minister J-Chan.
The completionist joke of him will live on forever. Hate the fact that you're carrying the burden of yourselves, but our future depends on your journey.
He's like, you know what? This is really sucky that you have to do this, but do it.
Yeah, claim the deer. Yeah.
Do a bunch of magic stuff.
Cool it. Whew. I apologize. So Minister J-Chan here is already supportive of the idea of reclaiming goodness and whatnot.
I wonder if this started with Lord of the Rings. I wonder if this like situation started with Lord of the Rings. Like, is that where this comes from? Is this where like the party and the adventure comes from? Is like,
what, you mean the ideal of RPGs?
well, cause like, okay, like in Fellowship of the Ring,
right?
They all meet up and they go to Rivendell or Rivendell.
Yeah.
And then they like have a council.
Yeah.
And then they're like, this is what you got to do for the rest of the story. This is like your mission.
Yeah.
And then they do that.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty that's good.
And it's like, it's like the fantasy book, right? So
yeah, like, everyone knows Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, so like, maybe that's like actually where it comes from. Maybe that's like where the tendency to do that in RPGs comes from.
That I'd like to think that, but I also feel like there's going to be someone in the comments who's like, actually, according to all these websites, you were wrong. So nice try.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm just sitting here and I'm looking at Wild Arms, which is like, I like Wild Arms because it doesn't have any of the like cultural weight that something like Final Fantasy has, or something like Chrono Trigger has, or pretty much anything by Square or Enix, Dragon Warrior, Dragon Quest.
Yeah.
It's not one of those, but it is like a very formulaic old school RPG,
right?
In a lot of ways, and so it's easy for me because I'm not so sentimental and caught up in it because of how much I played it as a kid to see all these different elements elements that are like the same between a lot of games. I mean, like this is a genre that is like a very large game for how similar they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you play this for 60 hours probably.
When I was a kid, yeah, probably.
Yeah, and it's like very, very similar to a lot of other RPGs in like very large ways.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, obviously the specifics are different, but like, I'm just interested to like get to the bottom of like where a lot of these things come from. And I know Final Fantasy and Dragon Warrior are like pioneers, but like, where did they get the idea? I'm sure that there's an answer somewhere, but
yeah.
I mean, right now I'm just.
I think a lot of it probably stems too from Japanese culture. I think there must be something that,
like some sort of myth or something.
Yeah. Well, speaking of myths, we're moving forward in the game. Sorry, I didn't talk because I was just kind of doing some things. We went ahead and upgraded our arm because it's a very important element in this game to kind of keep your arm on all.
Keep it real wild.
Yeah, keep it real wild. And here we are. I think the Minister Pastor Father said to head west to the mountain pass. So. Love this already so excited.
I really do think this game is like wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not
a lot of people in the comments said that this is the kind of game that after seeing a little bit of gameplay and us talking about it, they've yearned to buy it. In fact, we've actually lost some viewers because they want us to spoil the game for them.
Yeah. I actually really like about this game that, like, there's no, like, fog.
Fog?
Yeah, like, for like, Final Fantasy VII and, to a lesser extent, Final Fantasy VIII, and definitely in Final Fantasy IX, where, like, fog and mist is, like, actually a plot point. Like, the main map is, like, very stark and very, like, misty. And when you see a battle, when it goes to the battle screen, it's like, you know, like a misty plain. But in this, I mean, maybe it's just because it's a Western, it's just like a big, wide open place. They have like real hard shadows. It makes it look like it's really, really bright outside, which is like kind of a cool thing you don't really get to see very much in RPGs. I feel like a lot of the time with RPGs, you're either like in some kind of place, like some high fantasy, like place with no sort of real world equivalent, or you're in, like, you know, a dungeon.
Right.
Or, like, the misty plains.
I think what makes this so remarkable is the atmosphere is perfectly placed with the music and kind of the setting of this world. I mean, this game isn't really like a cowboy western yeehaw kind of game, but you get that same sense of wonderment that you would get from those.
Yeah, it just has like a similar feel. It's like Fallout or something isn't really a Western either, but it just kind of feels kind of cowboy-y because the world is not very advanced.
Precisely.
And it's a lot of wilderness and a lot of like dirty old dusty things and a lot of like survival stuff going on.
For those of you guys wondering right now, I am simply just I'm doing the leveling up glitch, or the 255 glitch on the bullet clips, so we have enough ammo for when we do any kind of boss fight with the arms.
Right.
And the lucky card, which is always a great element to, one increases luck, which is like, you know, chance for critical hit. I believe it also helps with her mystic. You can use the ability to give the entire cast a XP buff. So when we get to harder parts of the game, we can use that frequently to increase the party's overall incoming.
And it's like it's like an equip, a hold item.
For us, it's an accessory to wear that eventually runs out, I believe.
Oh yeah, I'm saying hold item like Pokemon now.
Right.
Rune, auto equip.
I'm trying to think. Oh, maybe you don't hold it. Maybe it's just an item you use it in. Can we see what it does? I believe there's a way to do it. Gain double gallon XP, so you do use it per battle, so that's always good. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and move forward as we're trying to find this cave. I think it's, and then to the left, here it is, Mountain Pass. Excellent, and another fight. These animation monsters, they look better and better every time I see them, and not for the sake of like, oh, graphically they look better, like. Hysterically, they are hilarious.
He had like wooden shoes, and his face looked like it was like a piece of fabric stretched across.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like an ice cube or something.
You have been granted passage. Be careful.
Okay, so this is another. Like the
dungeon.
Mountain Pass is like another thing that's always a thing. What?
Yeah, you know, we keep saying Final Fantasy. This is definitely an element in Final Fantasy VI of the Mountain Pass when you're meeting up with Sabin.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, you know, if you're watching this and you feel weird about us talking about Final Fantasy so much, I mean, you got to realize that as far as like influential RPGs, you're either gonna like, as long as you know, ones that have been real famous for a really long time, you're either gonna fall into the camp of Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest. Those are the two big ones. And I mean, I think that we both just happen to be Final Fantasy guys more than Dragon Quest guys.
Well, I mean, Dragon Quest is Square Enix, so it's...
Right,
you know.
but I feel like it's... Well, I mean, at one point they were separate companies, which is important. But I feel like it's a much more Japanese property, too, like as far as, like, where it's popular. Sure. I mean, we like it, sure. There's people who like it, and I think it's great. But, I mean, I didn't grow up with it the way that I did with Final Fantasy. So it's just, like, the thing. It's, like, the reference. I could talk about Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross, too, but, I mean...
I'd murder you because I haven't played those games, so...
Yeah, we can bring it up again. Jirard.
No, wait, let's move on.
Has never played Chrono Trigger.
Can we move on? I feel like anyone who's watched this before has seen this, especially in this particular series, because everyone's now.
Well, because last time it was like the town is Chrono Trigger. It was like the beginning of Chrono Trigger in another game. Not quite, but you know.
Bam.
You need to use flash.
A lighter. Jack can use it to start fires. The fire can spread light or burn obstacles. So now you got hand pan and a lighter.
Oh, so you can get like more than one per.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So what's that for? Can you light those deadly plants on fire?
Not the. That's like I think it's like that's supposed to be a poison oak of some kind. No, it's used for. I think you saw it earlier. We passed a
torch or something.
A torch, and that's kind of what we're going to be using for to create light in here.
Oh, what?
Yeah, these are dryads. These tree-looking garbage monsters. Remind me of that thing from Pokemon.
Garbodor.
Garbodor. I can't believe Garbodor is a thing.
I love Garbodor.
Does it evolve into a trash can?
No, he goes from a small bag of trash to a big ripped open bag of trash with like dirty concrete pipes for hands.
Andrew, can you show a picture to the audience displaying what the hell this thing is?
Garbodor.
I know we're sidetracking a bit, guys, but Pokemon, going back to RPGs, is pretty respectable.
Yeah.
Everyone loves it.
I love it.
There's got to be a point where people are going crazy when you have a Pokemon that's an ice cream cone, and when it levels up, it turns into double fisting ice cream cone.
Well, let's not. First of all, let's not call it a double fisting ice cream cone.
When you
because that doesn't sound like anything that anybody wants ever. But I can tell you from experience that both Garbodor and Vanillix are great.
I don't know, man. Okay, how about this? This is our comment of the day.
Okay.
Hey, audience, I know this has nothing to do with Wild Arms, but if you're listening, I want you to weigh in.
All right.
Garbage and ice cream. Are these acceptable things as Pokemon entities?
And
Tell me.
And don't just be like, Pokemon hasn't been good since the original 151. Because we're all tired of it. We get it. You liked it when you were a kid, and now you probably don't even really play video games anymore. So
why are they listening to the show if they didn't?
I'm just saying, you know.
That's the mentality behind those who did not get past Gen 1.
That's the comment I hear all the time from everyone in the world. So
don't. I always hear that Gen 2 is the best.
That's what I think too. I love Gen 2, but I also love Gen 5. I love Gen 4. You know, Gen 3. I love all the gens.
You love Gemma? She's a girl.
Gemma Arterton from Hansel and Gretel with Jeremy Renner.
Oh my God, no! By the way, if you're listening, executives, we will take that check right about now.
Yeah, we love that movie.
Yeah, this episode of Beer Brothers is not sponsored by your show, but it could be.
Yeah.
Your horrible movie, unless you pay us millions of dollars.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I want to point out how cool this little lighting effect is on their faces in the cave. It's like kind of like a glowy, kind of like a slight orange glow to everything.
You mean at the end of each fight?
No, just like during all the fights in the cave, it's like they're lit by like some kind of red light, and it makes it seem like there's lava somewhere. Like, look.
We're thinking of Red Mountain.
Yeah, see how they have like a little bit of like red light on their face? I think that's a really cool little detail.
This fun fact brought to you in part by Hansel and Gretel, coming out later on this year.
Same tale, same twist.
The fact that you knew the tag. The fact that you knew the tag for it.
Well, my apartment is like right next to like a really, really popular billboard in like the biggest intersection in Los Angeles. So I like see everything.
Everything.
If you stand out there and you look, it's like a circle of identical billboards at all times.
It's too funny.
Rainbow Smush the Trash Man.
Yeah, I'm not paying attention because of how things are right now, but...
So let's talk about the video game trope of like weird plant mazes that hurt you.
Okay.
For a second. I don't understand the point of it in an RPG. I mean, like, the famous one, I think, is from AVGN's Ninja Turtles episode, where he's, like, trying to swim through the water, and he just keeps dying from these, like, deadly plants that like electrocute you.
Yeah.
But in this game, this is an RPG, and like it's hardly a puzzle element. Like you can see it and you can walk slowly around it.
Right.
So why is it here?
I don't know.
I guess like
atmospheric.
Yeah, I guess
design?
yeah. That's what I was gonna say. I guess design-wise, like it makes it feel like a hostile environment. But other than that, it's kind of like a weird.
Yeah.
It just makes it like annoying.
A little bit. Not too horrible. You know, I realized that I probably should have bought equipment for these guys because we're getting rocked pretty hard.
Did you start restoring Adelheid?
No, I didn't. You can restore Adelheid, guys. I don't know if you knew that. But
yeah, I mean, and that's another classic RPG thing is like sinking money.
Restoring the town that you saw get blown up.
Yeah, like sinking money into something to like build it up over the course of the game.
Well, we'll be coming back to the town quite a few times in the future. So when we do there, we'll look at our money supply and see how we're doing. Because I spent all my money on my arms.
Oh, for sure.
Let's see. Okay, the thing about mountain passes like this is that we don't really know what the... Oh, look at that. Okay. Excellent. So we found a save point. Let's go ahead and... Come on. I like how is the light supposed to record into a book the journey that we're going on right now?
Yeah. Save points are always such a thing. Like, okay, like in Resident Evil, it's like...
A typewriter?
Yeah, a typewriter, and you need to get ink for the typewriter, or you can't save...
We should do a whole episode just on the dichotomy of game saves. Like, the process of saving a game.
Yeah.
And just go through, like, a couple of games that have weird, bizarre ways of saving the game.
Yeah, like Earthbound, where you call your dad on the phone.
Yeah.
From anywhere in the world. And he saves your game. He also tells you to, like, usually, like, take it easy, or he really breaks the fourth wall, and I mean that game is already pretty trippy, but like he's like, yeah, this is a video game, you should take a break every once in a while. He doesn't say, yeah, this is a video game, but he might as well.
Yeah, he might as well.
Excuse me. So dryads are a sort of like fantastical creature that are like tree based,
or one could argue that in this game they look like a pile of trash, which was a direct influence
on an excellent Pokemon from Gen 5 called Garbodor.
Oh man, how that is not true at all.
That's another thing is the Dryad. Okay, going back to the Dryad, I'm pretty sure that that's one of those types of creatures that's just like there's not really like a copyright on it. It's just like in everything. I'm sure it's in like Dungeons and Dragons.
You know, I want to say that Dryads are important, maybe somewhat linked to Japanese culture in some way. Because I'm just as an example, in Secret of Mana, the Dryad element is like super important to a little bit of the plot. In a way.
I would say, if I had to guess, I would say that there's some sort of European thing, like I was talking about earlier with these like where the Japanese fantasy cult like JRPG game co-ops a lot of like random European stuff and kind of like warps it.
Yeah.
I feel like the Dryad is like part of that, but I mean, as far as RPG tropes are concerned, like there's like elves, there's like dwarves, there's like elves and elves, which are two different things.
Yeah.
And
you got Santa, and then you have
well, I mean,
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, and then you've got like the Dryad here. I mean, I don't know, vampires maybe, or like to a lesser extent, or orcs are another great example that are just like. Nobody owns them. We all know what they are, and they're in like 5. That's like if like I don't know, like putties from Power Rangers were like showing up in like a Batman or something. You know what I mean? Like how could the enemy from one thing be an enemy from another thing that are not at all related? But then did
you say putties?
Yeah, putties.
You
punch them, and then
we need to show what a putty is so the audience at home understands what a putty is.
Yeah, if you're not 25 years old.
Hey, people may not know, because Power Rangers now is like weird, and it was always weird. But
Power Rangers is a weird thing because they just like change their theme every couple of years. It's like now we're cars, now we're space, now we're mini Rangers probably, or like ninjas, or maybe now we're cowboys. I don't know. I mean, at this point I'm guessing dinosaurs. Oh wait, well that was the original.
Before you go on, this is actually a very super important element in terms of Jack's character. So what'll happen is we'll get to points in the game where Jack will look at what's going on, like a visual or a plot moving structure in terms of, like, we can't get past this part, but Jack will come around and say something not right about this, and he'll use his ability of understanding how things work. He will interpret and learn a new fast draw. So now, if you remember, the one move he has is the one where he attacks instantly. Now we have another one. So we already are adding another level.
Somebody poisoned?
Yeah, I'm about to run out of poison, so I'm going to do the 255 glitch so we can have enough poison. I mean, have enough way to treat poison, rather. So, Healberry. And the switch. Bam.
Goblins are another one.
Goblins, yes.
It's just like, how, like what, like.
Now, is the flying bird thing exclusively for Lord of the Rings? The flying birds, the falcon birds,
the big giant eagles or whatever. I mean,
because I feel, well, I mean, the idea of, like, you know, mythological creature of, like, riding a huge winged eagle type thing is definitely one that gets.
I know about the rock, which is like an Odysseus thing. It's like like an old Greek thing.
Yeah.
And it's like this giant bird that's like horrifying, but I don't think it's an eagle. But it's like probably 4 or 5 times the size of one of those eagles.
Yeah.
And it could just like eat you and fly away.
I think we're making pretty good progress. I think we're going to be out of this place pretty soon.
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently medicine does not fix poison. Did not know that.
Maybe he's just suffocating.
Maybe he's still under the weather.
Yeah, maybe he's just not doing too great.
Doesn't that make sense, though? Medicine sounds like it would fix when you're sick.
Well, antidote is the thing that I would, like, is another, like, okay, everything that I frickin' say, I can tie into this, like, RPG tropes thing. I know, and it's probably a little bit annoying, but, like, antidote and poison is another thing that's, like, in every RPG. How did that happen? Like, what, like, when...
medicine is to cure disease.
How did we decide that that was okay? Like, it's just interesting. I don't think it's wrong. But, like paralyze and, like poison and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, why is that the thing that's in every game? I mean, I know that it's, like, the same thing as, like, jumping in a platformer or something like that, where it's, like, how can you separate it from the genre? But, like, this, it doesn't seem so intuitive. It seems more...
straightforward. There we go, antidote.
See, perfect. Like, I called it into existence with my own mouth. Like, I'm just wondering, like, obviously, in platforming, for example, like, jumping on platforms is part of it because it's a platformer and that's how you do it. And there's probably going to be enemies of some kind, right? But in this, like, getting poisoned is, like, in every game. And I'm sure that there's going to be a flood of comments like, no, you don't get poisoned in this game, you don't get poisoned in this game, you don't get poisoned in this game. But as a general rule, I would say that, like, getting poisoned is, like, a huge part of most RPGs. And it's like,
well, I think it's because
how did we get there?
I think it's because it's the ideals of people need to struggle a bit in these games in order for the character to not only grow as a plot structure, but for us to relate more. Like, when your party's in trouble, it's the first thing you think. I gotta do something quick, or I'm in trouble. Like, it's a necessity, but it's also, I think, a teaching tool of we need to take care of our party because it's important for the whole party to survive.
So you think that maybe, like, because it's, like, poisoning is in every game because it's, like, a common language that we can all speak so that we can play an RPG and, like, understand it a little bit better?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, ailments as a whole are ways of making you understand why things are the way they are. Like, you need, okay, you travel somewhere and there's a poison area, you become poisoned. It's
like an RP. It's like actually role playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so obviously we just did the glitch on
the
antidotes, so that we never have to worry about poisoning again. And maybe we'll finish this Let's Play sometime soon.
Episode 97?
Yeah, 97, 98.
We
should take bets. If somebody can guess
how many. How about this? If someone can take a bet right now, how many episodes it'll take for us to beat this game, and you get near or on it, we will buy you not only Wild Arms, but we'll buy you Wild Arms Coded F, which is the remake of this on the PS2.
Yeah.
And we'll send you some signed memorabilia of some kind from the show.
Yeah, the first person to correctly guess the number of episodes.
Yeah.
So we'll watch the comments.
I mean, but see, the thing is that like we're already on what, month 3 of the show, and it's like how much longer can we predict our progress? Unless these episodes, which I don't mind because I love this game,
right? We
start doubling down and make them longer.
I can see it happening. I can see us probably doing it on like a marathon play session.
Yeah, I mean, if people are down, I mean, do you guys want longer episodes of Wild Arms? Because I feel like Wild Arms is right now like a really niche game to play.
Yeah,
that's why we chose it.
I feel the people who love it really love it, and probably everybody else
is like lukewarm because they don't know what it is.
They're like, oh yeah, this is a game.
Yeah.
What is that thing called?
We're about to find out.
That cartoonishly purple, big-handed beast. He looks like a bad guy from DuckTales or something.
He's called a Gallow Bear.
Gallow Bear. Bizarre.
Very.
I guess like gallows, like a death bear.
You are in the gallows of death.
Like the gallows. Whatever. Yeah. Doesn't stop him from getting rainbow smushed.
No one can stop the rainbow smush.
Can't stop the smush.
That's got to be a T-shirt.
Can't stop the smush.
Can't stop the smush. And it's just a monster that's being rainbow smushed to death.
Well, yeah, because 5 years from now, when we're still not finishing Wild Arms, it's gonna become a.
So you're thinking 5 years?
No, if I had to guess, I would guess somewhere in the neighborhood of like 115 episodes. Is my guess.
115? I say
unless we start lengthening them. I think it's gonna be like pretty darn long.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because let's say we come in probably just under 30 minutes per episode.
About for this one especially.
And if we do, let's say 100 means 50 hours. A little less than 50 hours.
Yeah. Per week. Yeah, it's about right. I think so.
Unless this game isn't that long. If this game is a little bit shorter than that, I could see it being 40 episodes.
I don't know. You know, recently I've been playing a lot of RPGs. People saw me do the Final Fantasy VI live stream, and I'm playing Final Fantasy VII on every Sunday on my Twitch channel. And one thing I've realized is that games that I thought were super long when I was a kid are so much quicker when you know what you're doing now. Because I haven't played Final Fantasy VI in years, literally years. And Jesse and I beat it in 27 hours. And like Final Fantasy VII, I haven't played it again in years. Yeah. I'm like 36 hours in, very close to, I'm like midway through Disc 2, without even really trying that hard to be that far ahead in the game.
I think a large part of why RPGs especially seem longer when you're younger is because you don't have a great attention span when you're a kid.
I think I'm going backwards.
I'm not sure if you are or not. You don't have a great attention span when you're a kid, and so you don't play games for super long stretches of time. Yeah. And so playing for 2 hours one night after dinner or something, after school.
Yeah.
That seems like a long time, but you're really only playing for 2 hours at like, and maybe you don't play every day because sometimes you go outside or you play another game because you're a kid who's spoiled probably, and you have a bunch of video games. I mean, and we all were to some extent. I mean, I'm sure somebody's gonna be like, hell no, I had to work hard for every game, but like, most of the time you're playing more than one video game at once, and it's just like, what was that?
That's new skill. Sonic Master. This is dope.
Sonic Buster, he said. Sonic Buster has been mastered.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Sonic Buster, I apologize.
But yeah, like, I think that part of the reason why RPGs especially feel so long is because you do a bunch of other stuff in your life, but when you're, the completionist, or you are somebody like me who plays video games pretty much for a living, like, you can get through a game in a day or two.
Yeah.
And you're still playing it for a long time. I mean, 36 hours is nothing to shake a stick at.
Exactly.
But that's like 2 days or 3 days of gaming compared to, a month.
Oh man, a month. I feel like our beards are gonna grow so much more in the meantime.
I'm thinking about shaving mine.
No, you're not.
I'm thinking about it.
No, you're not.
I'm thinking about it.
No.
You shave yours all the time.
Yeah, but you don't. You're the balance. You're the chosen one.
I'm the chosen one.
Yeah.
Chosen for what?
For greatness of beards.
Greatness of beards.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kelly doesn't want me to shave it either. But then again, I don't want her to cut her hair.
She's cutting her hair?
Not like a lot, but she's gonna cut like a few inches off. But then like I'm like, I want to just, it's like hot, it's like sticky, you know, under here.
So I got a crest craft, which I currently can't carry anymore, but...
Well, because you have so many of them. What was that little skip he did? This is a...
different area, okay. This is a different area, because we had the knights before.
Yeah. Malama.
Malama. Alrighty. We have finally reached the mountain pass.
We came out the other side.
Exact same on the side. Ooh, and there's a sign. The water village of Malama. Keep going south. Okay.
Alright.
So it looks like we've already... Oh, wait, that's the...
What is that?
Sand River, so I'm assuming it's the next dungeon we're going to go. But here we are. We've reached the city of Malama.
Great.
So I think it's a great place to take a spot, take a squat, take a...
Pop a squat.
Pop a squat.
This is a great place to pop a squat.
Pop a Smurf squat. We're going to save it right here. And next week on Beard Brothers, we're going to go to... Malama. Which sounds a lot like Mama Llama.
Mama
Llama.
Hansel and Gretel. Check it out. See you guys later.